This is Scott Aaron, and welcome to the Success Made Simple podcast. This is a podcast dedicated to teaching entrepreneurs, network marketers, online business owners that success is not made simple, but it takes simple decisions that create the success that we truly deserve. So what I'm going to do each week is bring you guys short, quick, and effective tips on how to really take yourself and your businesses to the next level. Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When I was trying to get my podcast, Success Made Simple, off the ground, I had so many questions. How do I record an episode? Where do I find background music? How do I get my show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other places that people like to listen? Where do I find advertisers? The answer to every one of these questions is really simple. Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, distributing, and monetizing your podcast. And best of all, it's 100% free and 100% ridiculously easy to use. For me, I wanted to do something quick and simple, and if I have a thought in my mind, I can do a mini cast that's 8 to 10 minutes, or even invite a guest on to do one with me. So if you've always wanted to start a podcast, go to anchor.fm/start to join me and the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start, and I can't wait to hear your podcast. Welcome to episode 9 of the Success Made Simple podcast. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the best follow-up questions to ask a prospect that cancels a call. So, the 3 best questions to ask a prospect that cancels a call. So this happens all the time. Not everyone is going to follow through with what they say. And I always tell people that a few things happen when you schedule a call with a prospect. They're going to hold true and they're going to show up for the call. They're going to cancel prior because they're too busy. They're not going to show up, or they are too busy and they need to reschedule and they cancel before because they have their selves doing different things. They're building a shed in their backyard for their kids or something, whatever excuse they have. But there are 3 great questions that you could utilize every single day when someone, a prospect, cancels a call. So you get a message from someone. You have a call scheduled and they say, hey Steve, just, today's not going to work. Can we reschedule for another time? Now, the mistake that I made at one point was I would write back, sure, let me know when's best for you. So when you lead with a statement and not a question, it's not going to lead to an answer. So 3 specific questions that you can say instead of obviously a statement. 3 questions you can ask. Number 1, when would be a better time this week to do our call? You always rephrase their words. If someone says later this week is going to be better for me, great. When would be a better time this week to do our call? Around Thursday. Is Thursday good? Yes. What time Thursday? And you go from there until you lock down the call. The second best question is you can say, not a problem. When later this week would be better for you? Not a problem. When later this week would be better for you? Remember, as a network marketer, our number 1 job is to collect answers, not statements. Statements don't lead to answers. Questions lead to answers. And number 3, someone responds back, hey Scott, later this week is much better. Things kind of got a little bit crazy today. Can we reschedule? I would say absolutely. Later this week sounds great. Again, I'm reusing their words. What day and time do you prefer later this week? You always want to reuse those person's words to reflect on themselves, because people want to feel like they're speaking to themselves. So if someone says, hey, Scott, I'm really busy, can we schedule a call for Friday? Absolutely, Steve. When Friday is best for you? I rephrase their words, ask a question to lead to an answer. Now, what I will tell you is this. Some people will ghost you. Some people will cancel a call. You will say, great, when do you want to reschedule? And they don't answer. What you guys have to remember, a couple things. Number one, we can't get attached to the outcome. We can't waste another minute focusing on those that don't want what we have to offer. If it was that important to that person to reschedule, if they had to cancel, they would absolutely respond. That's not saying they're not going to write back a day or two later. Sorry, things have been busy. Now is better. But the fact is that if something is important to someone, they will make the time for it. If it's not, they won't. And either way, it's not a big deal. But just remember, we are in the answer gathering business. It is our job to collect as many answers as possible. The person who collects the most answers is going to enroll the most people and is going to have the best business. Because here's the thing, we could easily spend our time, wasting our time, worrying about all the people that are non-committal that won't get on the phone with us, or we can be in so much action that we don't even have to worry about those people. Questions lead to answers. Don't waste time on those that don't want what you have. So again, the 3 best follow-up questions to ask a prospect that cancels a call. Number 1, when would be a better time this week to do our call? Number 2, not a problem. When later this week would be a better time for you? And number 3, later this week sounds great. What day and time do you prefer to do our call? Reuse their words, ask a question, it leads to an answer. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today. If you're on iTunes, leave a 5-star rating, write a review, and if there's any topics that you would like me to talk about, please message me, email me, and I'd love to hear from you. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.